Slope-Intercept Form. This is a digital lesson, and the lesson starts with showing students what slope-intercept form is. It's the equation for a line in this form, so that m would be the slope, b would be the y-intercept. And this form makes it much easier to find the line on the coordinate plane. So one method that they can use is to create a table of values. So if x is 1, and then you would just replace the x with 1 and solve for y. So if x is 1, y is 8. If x was 0, y is 5, and so on. And once they have their table of values, then they can just use these as coordinates that they can plot on the coordinate plane to create their line. So on the next two slides, students are going to do that. So they're going to create their table of values. They're given an equation. If x is 1, they just have to replace x with 1 and solve for y. So if x is 1, y is 5. If x is 0, y is 3, and so on. And they just have to type in the answers here. Once they have this filled out, then they can use these movable points and they can plot them on the coordinate plane. So 1, 5, they're just going to click and hold on the point. Start at the origin, they go to the right 1, up 5. 0, 3, start at the origin, go up 3. And once they've got all of these points, it should form a straight line. They're going to do the same thing on the next slide with a different equation. And then another way to find the line on the coordinate plane is to use the y-intercept and the slope. So once they know the y-intercept, they know that that's going to be a point 0, whatever this number is. And then once they have that point, from the point there, they can use the slope to find another point on the coordinate plane. And once they have 2 points, then they've got their line. So on the next slide, all they're going to be doing here is determining the y-intercept. So they're given an equation, and it's going to be this number here. It's going to be 7. And what is that point that they're going to plot? It would be 0, 7. It's just some practice so students know how to do this. So here the y-intercept would be -4, and the point would be 0, -4, and so on. And once they've done this a few times, it becomes much easier for the students. Then the next slide is determining the slope. So here we look at the number that's multiplied by the x. Here it would be -1. And that would be what rise and what run. So -1, you can do this 2 different ways. It could be -1, rise, run 1, or these can be switched. Here the slope is 3. That would mean rise of 3, run of 1. And you need to explain what that is on the coordinate plane if you haven't done that already. So here when we get down to the fractions, well, here the slope would be 2/3. So they're just going to type in 2/3. That would be a rise of 2, a run of 3. Now, the next few slides, they've got several to practice. So first, they've got an equation. What is the y-intercept? Well, that y-intercept is 3. The slope is 2. So the first thing they're going to do, and they've got 2 points here, they're going to start with the y-intercept. If the y-intercept is 3, that means that line crosses the y-axis at 3. So it would be the point 0, 3. The slope is 2, which would be rise of 2 and run of 1. Up 2 to the right 1. Now they have 2 points. They can just connect them, and they're going to use the line tool to do that. So they come up here. They're going to click on line. And these little blue circles at the end, they can move them into place. So I'm going to start here with my line. And we want to make this line go through both points. You may have to play around with it a little bit to get it exactly right on. They can play with these lines. They can make them a different color, and they can change their thickness. So here they have the line y equals 2x plus 3. They're going to do the same thing with several other slides. So what is the y-intercept? What is the slope? You're going to start with the y-intercept on the graph, use the slope to find a second point, and then the line tool to connect those 2 points. Now, when they get down to slide 16, they're shown what to do if their equation is not in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So they're going to have to change their equation using algebra, and they want the y to be alone on the left-hand side, and then the x term plus the y-intercept on the right. So here they've got to get rid of this negative 3x so that the y is all alone. So they add 3x to both sides. That gives them y equals 3x negative 5. So now it's in slope-intercept form. Here they have to subtract 4 from both sides, and that gives them y equals 2x negative 4. So on the next slide, they've got some equations. They've got to change them to slope-intercept form. And they're going to just type those in. Now on the final slide, they've got some drag and drop terms, and they're going to move them into place, into the correct place in the sentence frames. So slope-intercept form. The first point to plot is b, or the y-intercept, and so on. And that's just a review of what they've just done. Final slide, nice work on slope-intercept form. So that is a digital lesson, slope-intercept form.